I can't complain. We bounced back. We've lost 2 games. We've got West Ham in the week. We find some sort of confidence from this game. I did think the first 20 minutes we looked nervous. We still look battered and bruised. We still look like we was feeling or wheeling and feeling sorry for ourselves after the last 2 games on the road. And I think West Ham, Southampton displayed that, as I'm going to get onto. 3 goals, clean sheet. I'm happy with it. But again, I think we played well for about 60 or so minutes. As I said, first 20 minutes of that first half was all them. Other than that, we did our thing. And you can't afford to have them moments. In all our wins, there's been those moments. And you buck a half competent team or a team that's on it on the day, we're in problems. Again, you might not have the luxury of being able to wake up after 25 minutes against a team like West Ham. You might be 2 down or so. So I'm thankful Southampton didn't take their chances. I think we played some good football for all the goals we scored, even the corner with the build up to it. Other guys keep scoring, players are getting confidence, we're winning. We give ourselves some insurance going into the weekend. The midweek fixture against West Ham. We get back to winning ways. I don't think Norwich will win, but Norwich at this time are 3 minutes away from playing Man United. But you're hoping that West Ham drop points before they play us midweek. You're hoping United do. Obviously, Tottenham, are impacted with COVID, but you hope there's a spanner in the works if they play and when they play. You're just hoping everyone drops points as they're hoping with us, which we've done. So yeah, you need to be able to arrest bad form, and it sets us up perfectly for next week, guys. 2 cup finals again. You've got Leeds, who were hard done by against Chelsea this week. Bielsa's men away from home are not going to be easy. And obviously we welcome West Ham, who are flying in the league, and Moyes deserves all his plaudits. So we're going to have to earn the right to play, and we're going to have to play better across the 90 than we have done. It's another home win where there's been moments we need to play better, but ultimately we've done amazing. It's another game where really, there was some good attacking play, but Ramsdale's our man, arguably as a shout of man of the match, where again, it's another one where our keeper is probably having too much to do. Tomiyasu the same. I did feel there was times in the game where we're not winning our first and second balls. I did think we're struggling with 5-yard passes. Players are not taking care of the ball. We're losing it cheaply. We're gifting it back in possession. We did look a bit disjointed. The first 20 minutes was terrible, in my opinion. In my humble opinion. But at the end of the day, as I said, clean sheet, 3 goals. We live to fight another day. If I scroll up to how I felt for the first 10 minutes, folks, I thought first things first, we need to wake up. They're looking like the home team. We're letting them settle. As I said, we're giving away silly corners and silly fouls, and Ward-Prowse is there. You can't afford to do that, or you shouldn't afford to do that, or they'll make it count. Borja and Adam Armstrong look good, and maybe him coming off was for the best. They had 10 men in our own half. They had us camped in our own halves for the first 20. They just looked sharper than us, really. We're playing sloppy passes on top of that, and it's looking quite nervy. And Ramsdale, you can see him shouting at people. I did like how Ramsdale didn't really take risks today and went long when he could, because he saw his players were having a bit of an off day. I feel for a minute, when you look from 10 to 20, as I was saying, they were doing better than us. They're making things happen. We're letting them play football. We're getting caught on the ball. We're playing sloppy passes. Much like Everton when we took the lead, it's a sweeping move finished by Lacazette. Lovely move from back to front, from defence and goalie all the way to our strikers. Several players involved, from the midfielders to the defenders, etc. I'm sure Saka technically gets the assist, and Lacazette's a confident finish. It's his second of the season. We get a goal. Now, for me, when we scored, I was happy, but then, and I know it's at home and not away, but the first thing that went through my head is in our previous 2 games, we took the lead and we ultimately didn't get a point. So that, are we going to revert back to type and think, kind of what Odegaard's spoken about in the press in the week, in that we score and then we're kind of scared, we sit back and things? That was in the back of my mind, really. I wanted us to learn from the Everton game. We had a fantastic 7-minute passage, literally. I think Lacazette scored in the 21st minute, Odegaard has scored in the 27th. So there was a really good 6 minutes where, again, much like the first goal, back to front, Tierney's kept it alive, and Odegaard's headed it. Really good play and a good example of dark arts from Martinelli, as he's blocked off Bednarak, who's tried to defend the header from Odegaard. Odegaard's done well, 3-3, first in a while at home, innit? And what's that, 4th for the season for him, if I remember correctly. He's got there, he scored against United, he scored against Southampton, he bagged against Everton, and the Burnley free kick. So do a lot more. And I think this was a game, once again, it showed that we can play with Odegaard and Smith Rowe. We can play with either-or, and again, there's good problems being thrown throughout the game now. Martinelli needs to start. But how do you get Smith Rowe, who I believe needs to be back in the team? But should you drop Odegaard when he's finding his feet? So do you go with Odegaard and Smith Rowe, drop Martinelli out and keep Saka? Do you drop Saka? Do you drop Lacazette and go with Martinelli up there? That way you can get both in. Do you play around with the midfield options? Like I said, we need problems, and this needs to be it, really. So it'd be interesting. As I said, it felt like, the tide started to turn. We played fantastic. Our fullbacks are playing quite well. I do think our central midfielders were quite sloppy. But we got ourselves back in the game. You felt the tide was turning and whatnot, and we had a good close to the game. Like I said during the live stream, I feel they won the first 20 minutes. We won the second 25. And you're looking at halftime as pivotal now, because if I'm Southampton, I feel hard done by. I feel the only difference that's made is Arsenal are better than you on the ball, creating them chances, and we have better players, and that made the difference. On top of us just waking up, there's still gaps. There's still one or two little moments I'm looking at and want a bit more from Arsenal. Ultimately, people, there's still elements of sloppy play. Even Ramsdale's positioning, low key, again, there was one, he pulled it out for a corner. He looked nervous at times. Sometimes his handling weren't quite there. There's a lot Ramsdale needs to work on. I think Ben White had a good game, but first half, he's getting caught. The midfielders are getting caught. Everyone is playing kind of sloppy, apart from the last 25. So again, can we have a positive 45 minutes? I did feel Southampton should be hard done by. I feel they were aggressive. They were snapping at our heels. They were pressing. They were aggressive. They had us in our half. They were making us nervous, together with us feeling sorry for ourselves. They did kind of what we did, really. They played well for 20 minutes and then they just went down the toilet. I think the goals gave us confidence, people. We did have chances where we should have added more. Lacazette should have had a couple. Saka as well. Potentially Martinelli. Ramsdale, was it in the first half where he played a good, fantastic pass? He had a good pass. I remember Odegaard clipping one with the back of his heel for Saka. There were chances we should have done more. Second half, Martinelli and Saka hit the post, and the post is cop blocked. But at half time, people, as I said during the watch along, there's nothing in it. We've scored, but we're both level for shots on target with 3. Shots in general, they've had double. They've made 6. We've made 3. We've had more possession with 51 to their 49. We've made 8 more passes. We have 200. They have 192. Corners, they've had 5, we've had 4. So it's an even game. And at 2-0, the next goal changes it. As you know, it's 2-1 and it's very nervous. VAR did us dirty in the second half. I did feel their team was a bit too confident for my liking, and they're too high in our half. And I want us to shut that up, really and truly. I don't think we're winning the first and second balls enough. Like Tomiyasu's winning a lot of headers, but no one's going for the second, for example. Second half, it's a case of a professional job. Don't force it, but get that third. They're going to have to chase the game at some point. Can we take advantage of them gaps? And to be fair, it was one of the best second halves I've seen from us. By our own standards, I do think there were slightly cooler heads. We did manage the game better. It's nice to see Gabriel score from a corner after obviously getting denied by VAR. Ending thoughts again. Lovely to see the fullbacks. Tomiyasu bombing forward. Tierney bombing forward. We're looking confident in the second half. It's lovely to see Odegaard getting 3 and 3. I thought Tierney was good. I think, Gabriel, Ben White and Ramsdale also. Want to see it, Partey had a better game. Xhaka had a better game. There was sloppy elements, really. Lacazette, Saka and Martinelli all had chances to, add more goals and assists to their tallies, but ultimately it didn't happen. But all in all, we did well in it. It's another game that isn't going to prove any of our credentials, but all in all, we did what we needed to do. Many improvements, but yeah, we get the 3 points, we get that insurance, and now we can focus on a big game going against West Ham. And now we've got good problems. Does Odegaard start specifically? Does Smith Rowe come back into the team? I don't know. We're gonna have to see Arsenal 3-0, sorry. Southampton review. There's that. And then with that, people, the only thing left to say, I'd say, is the player ratings. So obviously, let's get into the player rating, folks. 1 second. Do up this player ratings thing for you lot. Let me get the players up. It's a decent performance from us. So I would say for player ratings, we ended the game. To be fair, we ended the game a bit better, but it's still a bit close. We had 9 corners, they had 8. We had 15 shots, they had 11. We had 11 shots on target. Southampton, 11 shots from Southampton. We had 15. They had 6 on target. We had 5. We had 507 passes to their 315. So again, the second half made the difference, but it was still substantially closer than maybe what the scoreline suggests again, because if Ramsdale is still the man of the match, he's not a striker. He's only going to be man of the match for making saves, and he did make a number of bad boy saves. He did, the guy did. So yeah, on that topic, it's time to get into player ratings, folks. So it is what it is where that's concerned.